The report played a pretty significant role in our decision to purchase the house.
The floors are out, the ceiling's out, the walls are out, everything's out.
Yeah.
We head to the basement and it's like disaster.
Pull out the electrical, pull out the HVAC.
Everything is wrong with the house.
It was even worse than I thought. That really sucks.
Jeff and Josette bought a new house. Now, the home inspector looked at it and said, saggy floors, it's an older home. You know, the doors are crooked, they don't close properly. You know, it's an older home, so it's standard. The two of them thought it was nothing they couldn't handle because the report really said minor issues. There's nothing really wrong with the house. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna do a thorough inspection, and I'm gonna see why those floors are sagging.
Jeff and I had been living in a loft, and while it was a nice big open space, it was only one room. So we decided to start looking to buy a house. And as soon as we walked into this house, we fell in love with the open concept. It was a gorgeous space, and it sort of continued the loft feel.
It's not a particularly large house, but the way the main floor is set up gives it a sort of larger feel because the structure's been modified to the extent where the dividing walls have been removed and opened up the entire space.
I thought the kitchen was a gorgeous space, very modern.
It also had a finished basement, which was an attractive feature for us.
Also, the backyard was very lush. It's a deep lot, so it would make for a nice backyard once we got to that stage.
The home seller had arranged for a home inspection. So when I came to look at the house the first time, the binder was available for everyone to see. So I spent a lot of time reading through the home inspection report, you know, and looking for the same thing that everyone else looks for. There's electrical issues in that most of the house had been redone and removed the knob and tube wiring, but there were still a few rooms on the second level that had it. You know, it mentioned that the backyard has a deck that needs to be redone, so that was well known going into it.
But it did mention that there was moisture, I believe, in the basement. But other than that, it seemed like a pretty clean report.
Josie.
Josette.
Josette. I'm Mike, nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet
Jeff.
you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Come on in. We really, you know, based our decisions, very big decisions, on that information. And we're really disappointed and surprised to find that there are issues that should have been addressed there and weren't.
And the main problem here is that we have sloping floors.
That's it. So one of the things, sort of top of the list, we wanted to do when we moved into the place was redo the upstairs bathroom. We'd called in a contractor to come and have a look at the space and talk with us about a few ideas. And honestly, within 5 minutes being in the house, he mentioned that redoing the bathroom was not a good idea until we took care of the structural issues. And he said, well, obviously someone's done some renos here. This is an older house, there used to be some walls and they're all gone. The second floor is sagging because the renovations that were done on the main floor here were not proper.
We checked ahead. I have the permitted drawings from 1989. So we did have a support right here. So the wall was about this big here. This was a main structure right here, picking up more than likely this beam here and this one that comes across picking up here. So somebody, since that time, has pulled that wall out. Actually, that wall went down and across here.
It's quite obvious that some renovations have been done, some structural modifications, and there were no comments regards to the structural state of the house, if it was good, bad, any issues that needed to be looked at. The report was completely silent on that front.
Wow. Okay, this is like really dropping.
Yeah.
The floors actually dropped away from the wall. That's what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. On 8 feet, it drops 2 inches. It is actually dropped away from the wall. So there's a bottom 2x4 plate right there. The floor is sunk down, so it's almost like they've disconnected or just disconnected itself through the structure change.
Right.
We do have structural issues. On this side, you can see what they've done. Oh, it's quite the drop here. They put up a piece of what appears to be a doorstop or something to hide, to conceal that side, and then put up the trim, right? So they try to hide the illusion that we have an issue. On the other side, they didn't do that. Look at this. That is huge. You know what? I want to take a quick look at the basement. See what they did with that. This house makes me a little nervous.
You're making me nervous.
Somebody's covered up something. I can tell you that much because I'm walking in going, something's wrong.
Obviously, someone's done some renos here. This is an older house. There used to be some walls, and they're all gone. Upstairs, the floor is essentially sinking.
In the kitchen, there's a bulkhead down. It does a couple of things. It creates a look that the kitchen's on its own, almost like the rest of the room is vaulted up. More the reason is to run plumbing from the bathroom upstairs. Okay. Ductwork, they're gonna run everything in this path here. You know, if I open this up, we're gonna show a whole world of stories. But you can tell by looking at the cabinets right there that something's dropping. Is the cabinet not level?
It's pretty obvious now. You can notice that there's a big wedge.
Yeah, absolutely. We're about 1 inch here. We're about 1 3/4 on that side. But when I see this, it does create a concern. We know it's going to drop. Everything drops to the center. It runs this way, it runs this way, it runs this way, center, off center, because this is usually where the wall was, right in line with that beam, actually. Worst case scenario is we don't have proper structure point loads holding up load. I stand my arm up, I plant it on the ground, you can put a lot of weight on top of that. That's a point load, right? When these walls were removed, the beam itself should have been structurally supported at each end, directly down to foundation or footing. If not, we've got a big problem. You take out that point load, what the hell's holding it? We have a window in the back. What's on the other side of that window?
Ground. It's a glass block wall, but 3/4 of it are below grade.
All right. Plywood floors, gotta love this. Well, there's no load bearing here. You see the black on the wall there?
Yep.
What do you think that is?
Don't say mold.
No, it's not mold.
Tar?
Yeah. What is tar supposed to be for?
Waterproofing
Where?
on the outside.
Correct. Not on the inside. It's full of chemicals that you're not supposed to be breathing on the inside of the house. We've got junction points galore here. So somebody's played with electrical. As far as I'm concerned, it's not passed. All I'm seeing is half the panel being used. Usually in a house like this that has this much electrical, every single breaker is used.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to really go through this house and find out what's the most important thing here. And I think least of your concern is that your floors are not level. I think you have a hell of a lot more things to worry about at this point that I'm really worried about. You know, anytime you want to know what your house used to look like, look at the house next door. It tells a world of things. Here's a great example. Front porch. Front porch. So this is how this house used to look like. Now this front porch is part of the front living room. The wall has been brought out to the pillar, same as this pillar, in the front. So if we know the floor is approximately right here, what's under it? Look at this one. Okay, we have an old door that opens outwards. What do we see here? That's wood. Wood is not supposed to touch ground. The only wood allowed to touch ground is pressure-treated wood. What happens when there's a lot of water in the driveway? It's going to get in the house. Old milk chute. Look next door. Look at the size of this window. Look at the size of this window. Now, there is a steel lintel here. I did take a look at that at the beginning. It is brought over. Okay, so they widened the window. Is it in the plans? The answer is no. This house has a whole lot of problems. Okay, so they take the line out to run the vent, air behind water running down the drain. It runs right up and is cut nice and neat to the soffit. I can see the cut from here. If anything, being so tight to that soffit, it's actually like putting your hand over the top of the pipe and you're not getting air behind water, which may explain some of their slow drains that they're talking about. That's like a minor concern compared to some of the things that I've seen in this house. They've created a jet out. They've created a jet out. For whatever reason, everyone seems to want that closet on the outside of the house. No handrail. No fence rail. That's not in the report. Okay, wood burning fireplace downstairs. Bring it out through the ground, which you can't do because this is really a wall of earth that is being pushed against this pipe. It literally goes into the ground. You can see it. It's not allowed to go in the ground. It must be a certain height off the ground. Well, in truth, everything is aesthetics when it comes to buying and selling. People will spend more time looking for clothes than searching a proper home. Check it out. I walk through here and I'm panicking. Why am I panicking? Because I have a terrible feeling. I have a feeling I'm going to be ripping this house apart because it's been done all wrong. If I had inspected it, look at, I don't see a clean out on the plumbing. That's plumbing code. I need a clean out here because this is accessible. No permit, no permit, no permit, no permit. Don't buy the house. I do see a surface mold here. It's wet. And it is literally, it's full of mold. I'm gonna be very gentle not to raise too much doing this. It's not terrible. It's more wet and staying wet than anything. You see the mold. I should talk to Damon. 1989, there was a permit pulled to do all this, open all this up, so we can see how they beamed across, and this is standard what we're used to seeing. But you know, when you see the bulkhead that comes down with the bathroom up directly above us here, and you see the filler strip, like why is this not level?
You can see it from here.
Yeah, why is this not level? This was the easiest thing to make level, so nobody went up and actually picked up the floor joist and leveled the house. I'm starting to assume that when they put up their temporary wall to hold the floor joist so they could do all this work, it dropped. But looking at the floor and being right from this side out, you know, 2.5 inches dropped.
Well,
right
I can actually feel it on my feet that you really want to fall this way and this way.
The floor has dropped over 2 inches here. This has created a bowl effect, and that's exactly where the wall should have been downstairs. We're gonna have to do some opening investigation about structure. So let's go back downstairs. I'll tell you what to open up.
Okay.
Let's start with the kitchen ceiling. I want to see how this structure is holding the floor.
Okay, so
Open up a channel in between the lights, as big as you can, okay? We want to see point levels. Okay. Open that up. We know there's a double in here. We know there's a hanger here. We know that somewhere in here there's a beam and there's probably a hanger here. We'll be able to see it from this side. What you can't see is from this side. We may have to open a hole. Like, don't panic. Don't go crazy and open up everything yet. I'm always gonna find every spot I can, right? To see structure. I see the panel. Right. So I'm seeing the 330 double breakers in here, plus the 40 for the stove, but I'm only seeing half the panel being used. I want a report from Frank. I want to know how bad the electrical is. I want to know about all the pot lights. I want to know about the attic space. I want to know about that wood-burning fireplace that's ducted out back that I don't like, that goes into the tree.
That's right.
I'm not gutting this place. So let's look at it. I
gutting
want to know about the structure. No, we're not gutting this. We can actually tell them, you know, in the future, you're going to have to save your money. You're going to have to gut the basement and redo the basement. But we do have to try and take care of what we can take care of where we're working.
I don't know whether to say thank you, my friend.
Not panic. No. Like I said, I think Damon's going to think I'm mad at him.
In the last 16 months, we bought a house, got engaged, got married, and got pregnant. Yeah, action-packed.
So we're gonna look at structure, we're gonna look at insulation, and just take a look at everything else and give some recommendations.
Do me a favor, don't go crazy, don't open. Structure, I want open.
Yep.
Okay.
You gotta really protect the house, protect the floors, protect the art, protect everything you can, okay? So we'll start with that and we'll work our way towards construction. Everything looks really good. It's not. It's really deceiving. Upstairs, we have a bowl effect happening right at about this point right here. Now, looking at the original plans of the house, we knew that there was a L-shaped wall here that was a supporting wall supporting upstairs. 25, 30 years ago, someone changed the whole layout. They wanted open concept here. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys each on a point load. You're gonna open it up. I'm gonna start working on the bulkheads, okay? So Adam, let's open this one up here, okay? We see this, the beam is right here coming this way. I want to see what's this way, okay? Kate, I'm gonna get you to tackle that one, the same thing. Keep it 6 inches off each side of the corner bead. Just do a channel right down. So again, 10 inches off the ceiling, just right down the middle. I just want to see where it's going, okay? You're gonna be opening up this one over here, okay? Just go from corner bead, edge of corner bead to edge of corner bead. There's about a million ways to show an unlevel floor. I find the best way is right here. And there is your bowl. Okay, that door's a little sticky. Something tells me looks like everything dipped here as well. The dip is not as bad as it is by the bathroom and the other bedroom, but it is bad here. And that's why we get this. Now the whole door is sticking at the top because the jamb has actually shifted towards the dip. That's what I have to fix. Right now we have our point loads open. I'd love to see that they used a metal beam in here. I want to see what the point load is showing me down below. That's kind of scary. Kate is now opening up that one over there. It's going to show me that point load there. Adam's opening up the one at the other end of this beam, which is right under the kitchen. This is the most important one. This is where the sag occurred, right above us. This is why I'm starting with this beam. It's going to show us a lot of what's happening upstairs. So I know it's strange to start the plumbers outside, but this is where I think the troubles really begin. Nothing is draining properly in the house at all, guys. And I think this is why. This looks like a vent, and I'm assuming it's for this stack, and they have it plugged up at the soffit. Like no indication in the report, anything about this pipe. So I'm a little curious to find out where that's going.
The best approach would be to cut a piece of it, run a video camera.
Okay.
And I'll be able to find out exactly where it takes me.
That would be fantastic.
Right? And then also I'll be able to determine how far it goes and where it terminates. Now there's a good possibility there's a bird nest there. So even if it is a vent, it absolutely is useless at this stage because it doesn't allow any air to circulate. I'll bring electric snake. I'm going to try to clear that debris there, and then run the video camera again to determine how far I can get and what actually this vent is used for.
Okay, a few things that I see in the panel that are a problem. When we took the panel cover off, there's a breaker spot that is still on, and it's covering one of the breakers. This breaker will never trip. The ground here is in the wrong position. It's under with the neutral lug. It should be on its own up here on the ground bar. These staples up here are 2 under a staple, which is not a good thing. All staples should be on their own. It gives it room to breathe and the wire to breathe, and there's no pinching of the wires. And yeah, we're gonna have to take a look.
So the original inspector actually said that there's about an R32 up here. There's about an R20 up here at the most. The insulation, the pink insulation looks really good. Pick it up, look underneath it. There's about 2 inches of insulation below that. It's not enough up here. You have full access seeing these skylights here. Talk about heat loss, no kidding. You have to properly insulate a skylight in order to keep the heat in your house. Otherwise, if you're just drywalling into an attic, think about the heat loss you're gonna have. I just pulled a piece of insulation off of this. If this is exhausting from the bathroom, underneath a piece of insulation, what is that doing to your insulation? What is that doing to the framing, the wood, the joists? It's rotting basically everything because you're drawing all that moisture and it's not ever making it outside. It's sitting in your attic.
Inspection report stated they had some airflow issues here. What it didn't state is the reasoning why they had the issues. These are one of the issues, these 3 runs sharing this one run, and there's no return airs on this first floor. Your return air brings the air back to the furnace, which actually blows the air out of each supply vent. You don't have any return here. So you have no air going back to the furnace, therefore you've got no air blowing out into the room.
We're on the back of the kitchen, and this vertical post actually comes down onto the rim plate, but there's nothing above this window. You can actually stick your fingers out. If you put your fingers
There's no lintel here?
There's nothing.
There's no structural lintel here?
There's nothing. There's glass block, and that beam sits right on one single 2x6.
I cannot believe that there's no signs that this has actually started shifting.
No, there's no cracking here before we started opening it, nothing.
Man.
Oh, more fun. Yeah.
Junction box. Junction box.
So that we just found
Oh, jeez. Don't tell me
both
that's
wires and
It's live.
yeah.
What happens when the electrical hits this? The whole thing.
Boom.
Live. Yeah. So we had Ethan in.
Engineer.
He is obviously not happy. First of all, he thinks these are undersized. He's going to double check on that. He hates this connection, which we both knew. He'd rather see a full bracket clip there as well as back there. He did not like that at all. He does not like that connection
custom
at all.
steel bracket hanger, is that what he's
Absolutely.
Okay. This is sitting on the floor, it's not on structure.
It's just floating on the floor. There's nothing underneath that. That's really bad there. This is sitting on the end joist like we saw. We knew that. Below it is that block glass window with no lintel above
Oh,
it.
you gotta be kidding me.
There's no lintel. I can actually put my hands outside.
You got it. The window is directly under this load.
Directly under this load, and there's no lintel.
That's just as bad as that location.
Absolutely. And I can't believe we're not seeing signs of cracking in this house. I don't understand.
Now that we've opened everything up and you can take a clear look, you know, it's amazing what happens when we open things. Steel beams. Let's first talk about steel beams.
Sure.
So we have a correct vertical column here. If you look over at this column here, the steel one, it doesn't look in the same direction as this one.
No.
So we brought in an
Good eye.
engineer, and he
It's
said,
fun.
that one's wrong.
Oh my God.
So once again, brings us back to the point, at least these two are over top of foundation walls.
At least that's good.
So we have proper point load,
Okay.
proper installation of the point load, okay?
Right.
So we know that this vertical beam is wrong. We know that the tie-ins are wrong. We know that this beam by the engineer is undersized. It is sitting right on the floor.
There's nothing holding that.
Worse, it gets worse. This tie-in is incorrect. This tie-in is incorrect. They removed the wall that used to be here holding this up.
Right, right.
When we come over to this side here, this one here is the vertical holding up the floor quad here, the quad, I'll call it the quad beam, okay? Now this is now sitting over top of the window downstairs that has no lintel.
Oh my God.
There's way more. Come into the kitchen.
Man.
Way more, we just begun. Did you not notice we have electrical lines actually coming out of the stainless steel?
I haven't actually spotted those before.
Inspector should have caught this, that we have the lines coming out, drilled holes in the stainless steel, very sharp holes when it comes to stainless steel. Electrical touching, metal touching, you touching is a very bad mix. Good thing there's not a sink here. Look up and see the ductwork. That is one duct line that comes up from downstairs and branches off in 3 different locations. There are no air returns at all in your house. In the report, the home inspector said he poked his head through the attic. In the report, he says we want a minimum of 40 R value. And he says there's about a 32 R value in there, which there's not.
No, there's probably 20 at the most, and I'm being generous.
Not to mention that there's right in front of your eyes insulation missing on the columns of the skylights.
It's incredible. The feeling of your stomach sinking right out from underneath you when the news of how much is wrong with this place is thrown at you. It's incredible.
So we've done a lot of damage to your house, and I'm sorry, but it's what we have to do when it comes to fixing things. So let's go back to visual. Right above us is the vertical 4x4s holding the point load, the biggest weight load. What is beneath it?
Nothing. There's nothing here.
Nothing.
A door. That is completely mind-blowing how anyone could ever imagine that that's an adequate way to support a structure.
I know the panel is not even loaded. And I know you've got a lot of electrical, which leads to tell me that we have issues with electrical to the point so much that you are overloaded on every single circuit in this house, and that's point of junction boxes throughout the house.
And right here, Mike, before you go, got another junction box here, and if you can see here, it looks like we have asbestos-wrapped pipes.
And we do.
We have asbestos.
So at one time we had rads in the house. So you do have asbestos in the house. You've got a kid on the way, don't you?
Yeah.
One, you don't want a kid coming into a house with asbestos. That's so. Let's go to the window.
It's terrifying. I mean, we've been living here. I've been pregnant now for, you know, just under 5 months. So I've been living here in that state for 5 months. It's kind of scary.
Structurally, again, that load is approximately right here, okay? That is over top, so it's over top of the window. If you were to put your hand in above that, you will feel no lintel whatsoever above this, nor, once again, when I saw this, do we put a window underground.
And it is astounding that thing hasn't collapsed. Honestly, there's so much load over that area and there's no lintel and it's sitting on glass block.
This has become, opening up to verify, we see walls over there, we're finding mold. We now found asbestos, we found plumbing problems, we found electrical nightmare, structural nightmare.
There's asbestos, there's mold, there's everything you can think of is wrong with the house.
We've opened up a nightmare. We have to fix the nightmare the right way, just to gut your whole house. Remove the mold, remove the asbestos, pull out the electrical, pull out the HVAC, pull out the plumbing, pull out absolutely everything in this house, including you and your furniture. Redo the whole house at a cost of about $300,000.
It's hard to comprehend how many things are actually wrong with this place. How can it be that almost everything needs to get fixed? It's unheard of.
We're in trouble.
This is incredible. Completely unexpected.
The type of house I don't want to walk into. The type of house that I want to say, we can't fix this. We can't fix this. It's too much. What's better? Take it out, take it down and build a new one?
Almost.
That's what you're saying.
It's basically going to be that at the end.
Blow it up.
That's insane.
You're an engineer, aren't you?
True, I am.
What do you do?
Actually work in the wireless business.
Wireless.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, because if you were engineer and structure, I'd be giving you hell right now.
So would I.
Yeah.
Well, I think my parents are now going to be upset that we'll be living with them for a few months. So that's how they're going to react. Surprise, we're moving back in.
Oh, these poor people. Well, we're here after the big decision was made to actually gut the house. We have the crew right now packing stuff off. They move all their furniture into a storage bin. Want to protect their furniture and get this place started.
Lots of booze, lots of booze.
Now, here's the ultimate reason we're doing a full gut on this basement, not to mention the reason I have to get proper point loads down here, which brought us into the fact we found the mold. This is what Mike found on his first day by opening up this section right here. We know if it's moldy right here, because this is mold right here on the back of this drywall. That is a lot of mold. I'm gonna have Pinchin Environmental come in and give me a proper air test. I am not disturbing anything else down here because we know that we need professionals in when we're dealing with mold, so we don't make our guys sick. Unfortunately, this is asbestos. Now, I'm not actually gonna touch it because when you disturb asbestos, that's when it becomes dangerous. I'll leave that in place, let them look at it. Hopefully it's only in the basement. I doubt very much it runs up the outside walls. They'll let me know.
When you get to something like this, it's just easier just to rip everything out and start all over. It's gonna be gutted anyway, so it's not gonna be a big deal. We're gonna end up shutting down all the power to the house. It's just gonna be easier for everyone else to work. We don't want anyone to get shocked or get hurt for that matter. So we're just gonna be shutting down the power and giving them temporary plugs.
This line was actually blocked. I should have just the water in the trap. This line from here up to all the way down to the basement should be empty. This indicates that there's a blockage somewhere down below. Another good reason why we're removing and gutting everything. Just gives me, a good chance to reroute everything properly.
There's no way for me to get this kitchen countertop out of here, but I'm gonna have to cut it in order to get it out. Guys, get your okay. Yep, that was their air would turn down here. Why is the furnace not expelling air? Try looking under your cabinets. We knew that there was a bit of asbestos on the pipes. I knew I was into a bit of a remediation at that point. What Pinchin has found is that we have asbestos within the plaster itself, and this is not something I was prepared for. job stops as of right here. They remediate the whole damn house, getting rid of the asbestos and all the mold that's left in this house.
Certain materials contained asbestos, and in homes, it's pretty much limited to plaster, possibly texture coat, pipe installations in old homes, maybe ceiling tiles, but they'd have to be very old, vinyl floor tiles, vinyl sheet flooring, and possibly drywall joint compound. Asbestos is a small fiber that takes a very long time to fall to the floor, so it can remain airborne a long time. And while it's airborne, you have a chance to inhale it. What it does is it lodges itself, for lack of a better word, in your lung. Your body will remove small particles, but asbestos is hazardous because it could be small enough that it can get down there, but large enough that your body can't clear it out. What the contractor's doing by regulation here is using type 3 procedures, and what we do as the consulting firm and the inspection firm is we come and look at their enclosure as they set up to make sure that they've done the proper things to set it up. And that involves putting polyethylene on all surfaces so they don't get damaged from water, because you need to spray water to suppress dust. They install a shower so the workers can shower when they leave and remove any asbestos off the person. They use negative air machines, which are a HEPA-filtered unit that sucks air within it, filters it, and sends it outside. And it keeps the home under a constant negative pressure. So if there's any air leakage, it's into the enclosure and not out.
Years ago, they were not heating the basements here, a lot of coal, that kind of thing. So the pipes are insulated with air cell type asbestos. And on the corners or elbows of the asbestos, they packed it, then covered it all with canvas and lagging. What's happened is over the years, though, the canvas and lagging deteriorates and everything starts to fall apart, and that's when it becomes a hazard.
I'm having my mail sent here because we're gonna be here for a while. First day back after the mold remediation and asbestos remediation. I want this floor ripped up. I want interior walls down. I want the furnace disconnected, and I want the perimeter dug up so the Bowens can actually start their internal waterproofing. So Colin, I came down this morning. Right away, I looked at this wall because I was really worried about the amount of dirt. Like the dirt up on this side of the house, her grade is basically halfway up where the fireplace is. Sure enough, I've got a significant bow in this wall. This brick is actually being pushed into this house right now.
The lateral pressure, because the grade is about 3 feet above the floor joist in combination with that east trough system spilling over.
Yeah.
Every season we go through the freeze and thaw, whatever moisture's in that area, when it pushes, it's gonna push on this wall.
Right.
And continually make it worse.
Now this has to be fixed. It's just a matter of time before this wall caves in. And look at that. And I'm not even showing level yet.
Yeah.
That's level right there. So I'm, what, 5 inches off the wall there? That bow is
gotta be 5
inches, man. I'll get the engineer in and we'll go from there, man.
Okay. Right now we're starting the trenching process to install an internal weeping tile system. It's ultimately better to seal the foundation on the outside and not let any of the moisture at all transfer through the wall. Just we're limited in this case. It's a shared driveway. We don't have room to excavate. And on the other side, the house is right on the property line. So it's our only option to keep this basement dry is the internal system in this case. After the weeping tile system's installed, we're gonna install a drainage board membrane on the inside of the foundation. It's not like it's pooling water or huge amounts of water are getting in at once. It's just slight moisture everywhere that's been transferring through. So when we install our membrane up the foundation, there's dimples on the membrane that are gonna go towards the wall. And what that'll do is it'll allow this wall to eventually dry out.
We had an island on the main floor with the island sink. I have my hot and cold coming up, and then I have my 1.5 inch drain, which is coming from that island.
Yeah.
That drain actually continues across to the side, goes over to the stack, but then it goes up.
It goes back up?
It goes back up, and it ties into the stack with a little cheater vent.
You gotta be joking.
So remember when you guys were disconnecting the island, there was tons of water?
Yeah.
That water actually sits in that line because You
It turns up.
It turns up, yeah. So this entire pipe is filled with water that's been sitting
How
and
did they
breaking
ever
down.
drain it? It would have always had issues with that.
It was based on just a difference in pressure, right? As more water built up in the sink, in that island sink, it was at the higher elevation, so it forced a little bit of that water to go down through the stack. But again, it's very good that the drywall's been removed, that we have access to the entire plumbing, because like the
drywall's been removed. There's no wood left in this house, let alone drywall or plaster.
I'm trying to put it
in a positive spin.
Yeah.
Had the engineer come in yesterday. What we're going to do is build a 10-inch block wall straight in front of this, keeping in mind the bow. So we're going to be in front of that bow, tying back into it. We're going to actually have to extend the footing below here. That means tying in rebar into the existing footing, making it one structure again, and preventing the bow from becoming more significant.
Typically, a footing has to be twice as wide as the wall that's going to be built on it. We're going to be using 10-inch blocks, and in this case, what we've done is we've actually made the footing a little bit wider. This footing is going to be a total of 24 inches wide. Typically, the footing is going to be 8 inches thick, and again, in this case, we've made it a little thicker. We're at about 16 inches here for this footing, and we have 5/8 of an inch rebar encased the whole way.
This is the footing that's going to carry the weight from the beams on the main floor that carry the rest of the house above it. So this is a very integral part of this build. This is the biggest pad I've ever poured in my life for a point load of this kind. It starts everything. It makes me very happy. Oh my God. It's a freaking disaster. Right now I have water pouring into my house. It's a double brick foundation. Water's been pouring against that probably since this house has been built. This has always been here. And now that has actually deteriorated the brick and the mortar. Now I have a river running into my freaking house. Like, look at that water just pouring out of there. That is an incredible amount of water being brought right into your house. Temporary solution.
Ooh. Shock. I'm in complete shock. I didn't expect, I knew that, according to Mike, last time we saw him, this house should be condemned. And I didn't think he actually meant it.
It's not the same house, is it?
And here we are, to the brick. And beyond that, like, this is our attic, exposed and complete and utter shock. Wow, the open concept up here too.
You like open concept?
Not this much.
That's kind of too much?
Oh my God.
All right, let's start at the front of the house. A beautiful double brick construction, bricks in really good shape until we get to areas like this. See this wonderful crack?
I'm gonna guess whoever renoed the downstairs didn't do something right and it's not supported.
What's holding this double brick construction, which is about this wide?
I think
steel beam.
that's it.
So when they put that steel beam in place, they actually snap the center.
It's a little bit like watching a bad movie. Like, we used to live here, like our bed was right there. Now, like, there's nothing, there's a cracked brick wall. Like, it just doesn't feel real. It's our home, but it doesn't feel like we lived here. Everything's destroyed.
So let's look at this jut out for a second. That's the original. See the plank boards that run out?
Okay.
This was the closet for this bedroom. That's why they did a jut out. Now, a very strange jut out, but look at the shape of it. There is minor mold that is there, but we did have the abatement guys that came in. Oh, by the way, did you know that your whole house was asbestos?
No.
No.
Yeah, it was every floor. I mean, your ceilings, walls, everywhere.
So this was a super bring the team in.
And we were going to start with renovations too. We were going to do our bathroom. Being pregnant during this process, twofold. One, I would love to be living in my house during this, emotional time and happy time. But two, it's a blessing in disguise. I don't want to be living in a house full of asbestos and mold.
Let's go to your old kitchen first.
Remember where that was? Yep.
Yeah. Looks a lot smaller now.
All right, let's get into structure. They notched this beam because the floor sank down. They put this in place totally on a downright angle to tie into this beam. This beam is not even touching the floor joists. Totally incorrect anchors. I mean, I can't say enough about this. Totally incorrect tying on the beam here. We're gonna get a temporary support in here. And look at how it's not even holding the floor joist here. Let's look at the brick. Is that kind of overhanging the beam?
Yeah. The brick is wider than the beam.
Correct. That's a structural issue, okay? Look how they supported the roof. Now, 2x4 in the beam. This is not the way to structure all this.
No.
No, let's go further.
Oh.
We think they went right over the old porch. I now gotta pull this. And here's my biggest fear. Not only do I gotta fix all this, I think I gotta take your whole porch down, drop the window, remove everything, and redo it.
Oh.
The whole thing. This has been one heck of a lot of work in your basement, which would say why we haven't done so much upstairs yet. One of my biggest fears was messing with that wall. That wall is bowed 5 inches in the center. That means it does this. That wall is about to cave in. We have cut the floor and put in massive footings. We are going to now cinder block it up. We are going to anchor it into the floor. We're going to anchor it into the upper floor of the first floor. We're going to backfill with concrete in behind the wall, so we're creating a structural wall to hold the house and a benching system in behind it to hold that wall from coming in.
This whole thing started with a bit of a structural issue with the beam on the main floor. And now, what sounds like an even bigger structural issue to me is the basement wall, potentially on the verge of collapsing. Mike said, you know, it's not a matter of if, it's just when.
The amount of water that was pouring in this basement today alone, this was a perfect day to actually see the water coming in here. The downspouts going into your corners of your house was actually leaching water, so much water in here, it was a river of water in here. That's why there was that much mold in here. This was saturated in mold down here.
They've already dug around the whole outside and put in an interior weeping system. We're gonna control it from the inside. When we're done, we're gonna stud it, we're gonna spray foam it, and everything's gonna work the way we want it to. We seal in the chemicals around that wall from all the black roller crap they put on it. It should have been outside. We're going to structurally support this wall on the outside, which is just a massive scare at this point, especially as we gotta dig footings. We're going even deeper.
Wow.
It's done, it's poured, we're safe.
We're in the middle of this, and there's so many things wrong and so many things that need to get fixed that it's just, yeah, it's just really difficult to deal with.
I'm sorry you're gonna have to wait just a little longer. It's gonna take us a while. And I will do this as fast as we can, but at the right pace, okay?
That's fine. It's sad, and we're angry too. I mean, who do we direct our anger at? I don't know. The contractor, yes. The home inspector, yes. Ourselves, probably a little bit. I mean, do I regret buying this house? Yes.
I know I would have told you to run.
You mentioned that the first time we met.
I would have told you to run.
In hindsight, you know, we would have been in front of you. We would have beat you to the curb to get away from this house.
Okay. They did the plumbing wrong, they did the electrical wrong, they did the structure wrong, they did everything wrong. Look at the brick wall, it's caving in. Oh, you're right, it is.
We kept hearing about problems over and over again, like new problems that kept happening.
I think I gotta take your whole porch down, remove everything, and redo it.
Never could have envisioned anything of this magnitude having to be done to the place.
It's about the house. The house was wrong. We had to make it right.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is beautiful.
Go!
What I did was I was standing on this line here, and it wasn't stuck to the ground properly because there was water damage.
Okay, Carl. Very good. Somebody wants to go home. Previously on Holmes Inspection. Right above us is the vertical 4x4s holding the point load, the biggest weight load. What is beneath it?
Nothing.
You are overloaded on every single circuit in this house. We now found asbestos. We're finding mold. We found plumbing problems. We found electrical nightmare, structural nightmare.
It's hard to comprehend how many things are actually wrong with this place.
We've opened up a nightmare. We have to fix the nightmare. The right way is to gut your whole house. Jeff and Josette lived in a condo, wanted to move out, time to get into a house, I get it. Looked in a beautiful area, found the house they were looking for.
It's not a particularly large house, but the way the main floor is set up gives it a sort of larger feel because the structure's been modified to the extent where the dividing walls have been removed and opened up the entire space.
As soon as we walked in, there was something magical about the main floor, and it's really what drew us to the house.
Now, the home inspector looked at it and said, saggy floors, it's an older home. You know, the doors are crooked, they don't close properly. You know, it's an older home, so it's standard. The two of them thought it was nothing they couldn't handle because the report really said minor issues. There's nothing really wrong with the house. And then I come in. It was bad. Okay, what'd we find? Let's see. Mold, asbestos, asbestos beyond asbestos, it's in the plaster. Electrical, HVAC, plumbing, structure, major structural issues right from the foundation to the top of the house. I have the hill caving in the side of the house.
Ooh. Shock. I'm in complete shock. I didn't expect, I knew that, you know, according to Mike, last time we saw him, this house should be condemned. And I didn't think he actually meant it.
You know, when I talk about this as being bad, think about everything that can be wrong with your house and look at this house.
Everything is wrong with the house. Like, how can that be? Like one bad reno after another? Yeah, it makes your stomach feel like it's just gonna drop out.
Sagging floors. That's nothing. It's, yes, it's structural. It's all kinds of walls that should have been there. You know what? Everyone that touched this house prior to these people did it wrong.
It's sad. And we're angry, too. I mean, who do we direct our anger at? I don't know. The contractor, yes. The home inspector, yes. Ourselves, probably a little bit. I mean,
yeah.
Do I regret buying this house? Yes.
That house is wrong. I need to make it right. Period.
This is the beginning of everything. This is the beginning of my build. This one footing alone lets me get proper beams upstairs, point loads down. This is the biggest pad I've ever poured in my life for a point load of this kind. It starts everything. It makes me very happy.
Whoever did the construction here are freaking morons, okay? What they did was they started at this point. They slipped their beam in, they started notching because they didn't want to lift the house up because the whole floor runs like this, right?
Right.
It wasn't just that they pulled that wall out, which created that bow effect. It was how they installed all their new beams, which really were not supporting anything. That's the problem. They're not picking it up over there. There's no weight load on this.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't push it down. These 2x4s are blockers. They're not even touching the blockers. This isn't even up high enough. This floor should have been jacked up, and all the beams they put in place should have been structurally supported right down to the foundation or a separate footing. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Did you see the jut out?
Yeah.
This is old. Floor planks go right out, so this is as old as the house.
Which is really funny, eh?
It's really strange because look at the rot in here.
I know. Even look at the header. Like, this is, you're absolutely right. It's totally
original. Is sitting not even an inch on the brick.
Yeah.
One thing's for sure, it's got to come down.
Okay.
Once again, the contractor's in here.
This
Frickin' yo-yos.
Look at that, buddy.
Just get a temporary support in.
Sure. Yep.
Phone me.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna come in, and you and I and everyone else here is gonna restructure this house, and I'm talking about all the point loads, all the major beams that gotta be put in, because I saw them at the office.
Yeah.
Okay, and after that, I'll give it back to you, and away you go to finish it.
Love it, man.
So I got a wonky house. We're gonna have to true this whole second floor up as best as I can. Can I level it? Odds are no.
Obviously, someone's done some renos here. This is an older house. There used to be some walls, and they're all gone. Upstairs, the floor is essentially sinking.
First thing is I gotta get the floor poured today. I can't pour a floor around wood. So I'm gonna take down the landing and the stairs. It's the easiest solution. I gotta get more gravel down here, bring it in through that door. It'll make my life a hell of a lot easier. So I'm gonna lose this today. We have Angelo He's actually filled this whole wall in a couple of days. He's got a little bit left to do there, filling in that corner. Then this wall's done, they can waterproof this wall. We had glass block here. That glass block was so poorly done, I could actually fit my hand over top of it. Not to mention, we have a point load coming down right here. Well, if you look at this joist, it's cut out. Eventually, if any weight was actually put on that, this was gonna actually come down. Very, very dangerous. We're filling it in. I've got a truck outside. It's filled with concrete. I still have guys working down here. We still have a lot to do, so I'm not panicking, but I'm a little nervous. I want to make sure I can get this down in a reasonable amount of time. You don't want concrete sitting on the truck. It'll start setting up, and it's no good anymore. We want the same amount right through, right, guys? Double check the whole area.
The most stressful part is I think, right about now, trying to prep for the concrete while the concrete trucks are waiting up front.
We're using the laser here to get our gravel level to put our insole tarp on top of.
That level looks actually perfect. So let's roll that right out there, guys. It's a vapor barrier, and it's an insulation, all wrapped in one. We're gonna lay it out this way. We're gonna actually overlap it 6 inches. We're gonna tape the joints, and then we're gonna wrap it up the walls and use it as our expansion joint as well. Ooh, baby. So this Agilia saves us so much time. There's no troweling involved anymore. It's unbelievable. Yep. You just basically, you're using a couple of small tools. You're just leveling it out, letting it self-level itself, just making sure you're at the right thickness, and away you go. Yep. That's a good bed of concrete.
The final step here is a curing compound to lock the moisture in and prevent evaporation from the surface, and that'll give us a nice clean surface with no cracks.
It took a long time to get to this point. All the demo, everything we had to fix, the footings are in place, the concrete floor has been poured. Now we start to build upwards.
Get the string line on either end of this beam for me. Carl, come down here. I want you to pin it to the underside here, okay? Just to the side, but right at the bottom. I'm just trying to see if there's any kind of bow in this beam at all. The first floor wasn't so bad, so we're just gonna start truing it up. Then Mike can come in when we start jacking up the second floor. So this is where the sag is. Let's just see. Just under 1/4 inch. Can you see that? We'll just start jacking. I'm not trying to level this floor by any means. It's almost a 100-year-old house. There's no way I'm gonna get this floor level unless I redo the whole thing, which we're not doing. So I'm gonna actually just get it true, which means we're gonna try and take all the little bellies out of it.
The reason we're basically putting these 2x6s up is so that this beam will turn on its side. It's not going to cripple and fall and, fall on anyone and hurt them.
Go by my lead. I'm gonna crank it, then I'm gonna let you crank it. I want you to go 2 down as well, right? Okay, the same thing. When I crank this, these are gonna be affected, so I'll go slowly. Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir, I'm watching.
Okay, go ahead.
Awesome watching that move.
Yeah. Is it going up?
Yeah, you're getting really good. You're down to about an 1/8 left to go on the floor in the center.
I'm gonna crank it up one more time, okay?
Carl's end's gotta go up though.
Yeah, we know.
Carl's cranking slow.
We have 2 different methods here. One is a string method and one is the laser level. Now the laser level will always show you level, where the string will show you true.
Oh, you're good, you're good, you're good.
We're good right there?
Yeah, man.
What we've done is we went tight off each end where the actual joists have stayed true over the years and are worried about the middle. So when I jack that, the middle's gonna raise up, the ends are gonna stay, and I should be able to raise that floor right to my string line.
It looks good. It looks really good, actually.
Oh, look at that. That's about as good as we're gonna get it. We're jacking the second floor up today, so I'm feeling better. We're actually back to the point where we originally came here for. We have the welders here to flip the column over on the left-hand side of the house here.
We're pulling the column out of the wall there and rotating it 90 degrees to get the face out, so the structural integrity is still there.
We need pockets on the metal beam to support the beam coming right across in front of the stairs here. They need to weld that on today too, and then their job is done. So we have a big day today. Mike's coming in at any point, so I'd like to get this, at least the support beams in, so when he gets here, we can actually start jacking this thing Make him a happy man.
Damon's put the jack posts on both sides of the old beams. That way we can jack up the entire second floor and they'll act as a temporary structure until we get the new beams in. There's no way I can level it 100% because the house has gone cockeyed. But I can true up those floors and I can make it last forever. Okay, so you guys give a full crank right now? Once we true up the floor and all the old beams are removed, we'll install the 3 new engineered beams and the structure that carries the weight load directly down to the foundation. Okay, let's go halfway. Ready?
Yeah.
Nice sound, eh?
Yeah.
Let's get that measurement right there.
15 and 3/8.
Okay, I got 15 and 1/8.
That's good. Look at how much we're off that beam, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, let's remove the beam. As far as I'm concerned, once I jack this floor, more than likely the ceiling upstairs is gonna be fine. Cross that path when I get there.
Okay, right outside, okay, boys?
This is kid stuff. Not hard. You know, when you're playing with structure, make sure you're bringing someone that knows what they're doing. Otherwise, they put posts in wrong, and the house can cave in. That's usually not a good thing. Why do I see earth?
It's actually wood and debris coming in from all the gaps. Like you can see basically daylight through there.
Well, this sucks because it's exactly what I thought. They took the old porch, closed it in, opened it up, put the beam in and make it look like, oh yeah, look at it, it's beautiful, it's long, it's open concept. Everything is freaking wrong. To build right over the old porch is an issue because I don't know if wood is touching earth in any which way or form. Did you look?
I did. It's not, I don't see it touching earth, but I can only see in a certain distance.
Well, I need to see how they closed it in. Look at the sheathing. It is so molded on the inside, all the way around. Look at the brick wall.
Oh, that ties in, doesn't it?
It's caving in.
Is it?
It's caving in.
Oh, you're right, it is.
Oh.
Buddy, that's below grade there. That's her driveway next door.
I know. It's pushing that wall, and just like it did this wall here, it's almost completely caved in on the underside of the porch.
Oh my God, buddy.
Houston, we have a problem.
There's the old deck. They basically took out the front wall, went out through all this work, and then just boarded in the porch.
They did the plumbing wrong, they did the electrical wrong, they did the structure wrong, they did everything wrong.
The walls were gonna cave in and the ceilings were gonna fall down. So it was like a house of cards.
This is called a micro-lam. What it is they take strips of wood, they use glue, and they pressurize the hell out of it, so this becomes stronger than an actual piece of lumber the same size. It's what we want to use here.
Okay. Do the same thing for MJ? You okay, buddy?
This is not like you, liar.
Get a jack post under it right away.
I have temporary jack posts holding up my whole second floor, but I'm also gonna use them to hold my beams in place. So what we've done is we've marked them on both sides of the walls here, and when I wanna slide these in, I need to be able to adjust them. Now, MJ and I aren't gonna be sitting here all day with a 500-pound beam on our shoulders trying to adjust it, no. We do it the smart way. We use jack posts, that way we're able to manipulate it a little bit and get it exactly where we want it. Here we go. Okay, slide it to me, please, carefully. Carefully, I got an inch to go. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, you're good there. As soon as we're safe with this one so it doesn't want to cripple over, we'll start on the next one. Okay, so I'm going up, okay? Now, can you get it up anymore? Oh, hello! That's beautiful. I feel really good about that. So I've done my measurements. I'm actually pretty comfortable that we have this floor exactly trued up. It's a flat surface now. It's not exactly level, but it's a 100-year-old house. I'm happy the way we have it right now. Yeah. Psychologically, it's big, because that was holding up your main floor. But we have our beams in place. I feel very comfortable now taking the shoring out and walking away with my beams in place, knowing that those beams are not going to move for another 100 years.
Now, the last thing I want to do before I start rebuilding this is pull up the floorboards in the porch area to actually see what we're dealing with here. There's the old deck. I think this is actually worse than Mike thought. This is a single layer of brick. The double layer of brick has already fallen off here. This is a single layer of brick at this point. None of these joists are sitting on anything. Right now, they're butted up to the end of these bricks right here. Because, of course, they would have sat on the inside layer of the first layer of brick, right?
So what does that mean for us?
That means for us, I'm floating in midair at this point. The only thing holding me up is the fact that everything's still nailed in back here. Before we can even begin to rebuild the porch area, we have to bench this wall just like we did in the basement. And we also have to pour a foundation under the rest of the porch. What they've done is they put their form up, and now what we have to do is brace it. I can't brace to the existing plywood. It's not supported by anything on the other side. What we have to do is support it off each side against the brick and pile dirt up against it to stop the form from moving. Concrete's gonna wanna kick it out.
This is a concrete vibrator. It helps disperse all the concrete inside the form and helps eliminate the air so as to let all the concrete fill the form correctly.
We're gonna give them a new kitchen. We came up with an idea. It incorporates using this area where the kitchen originally was, but unfortunately we have a window and a door there that interferes with the cupboards. They need maximum storage space here. The only way to get it is by filling this in, filling that door, and giving them double doors where the bay window is. They're gonna lose some light, but they gain a kitchen. Smart.
The blocks were frozen, so we're heating them up right now. So that's why we have the salamander heater there to heat everything up. You know, I've seen people build walls with frozen bricks, and the whole wall falls down after so many courses because the ice melts and creates water inside the mortar, and it'll just belly out. It'll just fall over. Every course by course, the pressure will push it out.
These windows are from 1989. I'm not gonna trust that the gas in between the two windows is gonna be any good anymore. It's probably gone because I can already see condensation in between the two panes. That means my window's already gone.
The tile that was used for the front steps is literally disintegrating.
Most people sweep leaves and dirt off of their front steps, and we're sweeping the tiles.
Slate tiles are indoor tiles. They should never be used outdoors because they do have layers in between them. And when moisture gets into these layers, it freezes, pops, and cracks. They crack up like this, and it's like shedding almost. Looks messy, and it's expensive for something that's just gonna be ruined in the end anyway. We're gonna end up using a flagstone out here because it's not layered. It's actually a stone that's supposed to be outside. These would look pretty in a kitchen or a hallway, but not so much out here.
So we're gonna keep going on the rough end then, and then just before we end up tidying up close to the end, we'll tie all the lines in. Okay. Good location, I like that. The original panel was located underneath the staircase, which we weren't really happy with its location. They were actually using it to hang clothes in there, which is not too good of an idea. So we've relocated it here simply by adding some pipe along the outside and relocated it an extra 4 feet. Better location. You can end up getting to the breakers if you need to. But our goal is going to be very simple, bring all our feeds to here, and then we're gonna end up drilling the back of the panel board and bring the lines through. So the final look is gonna be very, very neat, and it's gonna end up looking as good as it can.
Well, Gary really kicked it in. He had a lot of work to do. He had to get heat runs up into every floor space and actually get some air return grills, because if you remember, there was absolutely no air returns on the main floor. Yep, that was their air return down here.
Whoever did the contracting here and decided to leave the return in the floor and just cover it up by a cabinet, big no-no. When you don't have enough return, what happens is your furnace basically starves for air. We've installed a new furnace. Let's do things properly. Let's get them installed in the right position so that we can bring enough air back to that furnace and supply the house with enough heat.
Oh my God. Look at that, was once wood. There's about 1 million reasons I want to take this off. The thing leaked, it's rotted, it's molded. This is gonna be nothing but a headache for the homeowner down the road. I'd rather take it off, brick it back in, insulate it properly, make the house look a little better as well, because this is one ugly eyesore. Oh my God, that is a nest and a half. Fade right through the freaking rafters. Ah.
Cool.
Cool?
Oh, it's neat.
Right now I'm into spray foam. Everything is about insulating the house properly, and that is what we had to do to insulate this front porch, this prior front porch, into the usable space it is. This is a brick post that does transfer to the outside as well. It will bring cold air into here, so I have to spray foam that. This is my beam. That transfers to the outside of the house. What's that gonna mean? Cold will hit the wood and transfer through the wood a bit. So I wanna spray foam this zone. So by spray foaming my beams, that eliminates the cold transfer through from the outside in. I now have a thermal break in this house. What it's allowing me to do at this point is finish this job. Drywall, prime the drywall, get it sealed so it's not creating dust in here. Then I can get my hardwood floors in, which allows me to get my kitchen and my baseboards on, which allows me to finish my fireplace, allows me to finish my bathrooms, allows me to finish the house.
Yvonne and I are just laying down some decal right now in the bathroom. We're getting ready to do our tiles today. This stuff is really smart because it's waterproofing for your bathroom or wherever you are putting it. It prevents cracking, it's for more durability, it's better adhesion for the tile. Your bottom layer here sticks to the structure of your house, and the top layer here it adheres your tile to your floor.
Remember when I was on the floor measuring down from the baseboard? How low this floor sloped? This is good. New skylights?
These will be a lot more efficient.
Properly insulated, yes.
Absolutely, and spray foamed around the actual tunnel.
So just the tunnel.
Yep.
Okay, blue drywall, love it. We have mold-resistant drywall, blue wood, love it.
This is tiles for every single bathroom in this house, so we get the privilege of bringing them in.
I don't think they could have picked heavier tiles. It's a consistent stream of moving materials, whether it's drywall, hardwood, tiles. There's 75 boxes of hardwood that we moved in yesterday. It's exhausting.
You want to make sure that the moisture level is between 45 and 55% humidity. If it's too low, then it'll cause the wood to contract and crack. If it's too high, it'll expand and it'll buckle. So you want whatever is comfortable to you and me is comfortable to your hardwood. This is Canadian maple from Quebec, the best that you can get. Kind that makes maple syrup delicious. And if you lick it, it doesn't taste like maple syrup, it tastes like wood.
This is something I would want in my bathroom any day of the week. We're putting down a new heat pad, which means it's a radiant floor heat. So I want to get it underneath my tiles. What it does is it's a pad that has a wire that runs through it that heats up. It's protected by the coating on it. So what it's doing is it's heating the bottom of the tile heats up, and basically the heat just radiates out across the whole floor, making the entire floor warm to the touch.
It's quite common for us to get in an attic space and see exhaust vents just sort of draped in the attic. And really the problem with that is that it's warm, moist air, which is a big problem when it comes to the consideration of mold growth in an attic. In the inspection process, so when an inspector is actually doing his walkthrough of a home, he can look up at the ceiling, know that there's an exhaust fan in the bathroom, pop his head in the attic, and see where that pipe goes. If it's vented correctly, it'll be vented up into a proper vent with a collar and insulated. But when you put your head in the attic and you see a pipe just kind of laying loose across the top of the insulation, you know you're gonna have an issue there.
I like the front closet.
Yeah. Now I'm ending the tiles here, buddy, just right along here. We were sort of playing with the idea. Chris thought here would be a nice finish for the hardwood. I agreed, we stopped it here.
So tiles at the front door only?
Tiles at the front door only.
Don't bring it beyond this wall, right?
Exactly.
Okay, alcove.
Yeah, now this is where a bump out of concrete came. I thought I'd bring it across, give them a bookshelf, a built-in unit.
Just turn it into like a
reading area.
Reading area.
Because, I mean, with this window, look at this room right here. Like, this is why I vaulted the ceiling as well.
It actually looks really, really good.
Window.
Before, we didn't have all these vertical bulkheads, all these extra pieces. Why? Because the ductwork didn't go through there. To run it properly means we're going up on the outside of the house.
I had no choice, that's right.
Well, you did this good, and you leveled all the ceilings. Very good. You having fun today? The weather's here anyway.
The weather's good. Okay, so sink cabinets, dishwasher.
So we want to maintain our 42 inches, correct?
Yes.
Okay, we have a 12-inch overhang on this side.
We have a 12-inch cabinet plus a 12-inch overhang.
That's too much. You got to lose the two cabinets, definitely, and cut the countertop back. So even the countertop is then going to be a 36-inch top, right? Or even more, because we're going to have a little bit of a bull nose.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend that. I love the way, the ceiling, the dining room ceiling goes up, the kitchen ceiling. It just gives it character. You guys are doing good. I like the cabinets.
He's not pointing at me.
Thank you.
Doing good.
The existing channel had no outside air to allow for combustion, so all the air had to come from the inside of the home. What that means is the hotter the fire, the quicker the flue gas velocity up the chimney, the more house air was actually taken up the channel as well. Because we have what's considered a direct vent system, all combustion air comes in, burns, and then exhausts up the channel. It's totally isolated from the house. All the heat is 100% beneficial. There's no loss of heat up the channel.
We started the front walls. We've got one wall ready for finish coat. We've got the other side ready for base coat.
Excellent. So you're at 3 different stages here.
Yes, we are.
Just so I know, so we're staying out of your way. We won't use the front door. You'll have full access there. Is the tarping good enough for you?
Tarping looks good, yeah.
It is freezing. All that good weather we missed, and we finally get you in here, and it's like minus 20 today.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I know. Oh, very nice. We got stairs. It feels like a house.
We have a roller made from recycled pop bottles, which is actually really nice. I'm loving the way it puts it on the wall. It's 18 inches as well, because the whole house is the same color. So we're not changing colors. I figured let's try a big roller, just get it on really quick.
Pretty soon you're gonna have a roller so big, you're just gonna be able to do one roll down that wall.
The entire wall.
Quartz is a man-made product. It's 93% quartz, 7% resin. It's compressed into a slab. From that point on, we pretty much treat it like granite. It is cut like granite, polished like granite, etc., but it's extremely strong. It's very narrow through here. If this had been natural stone we were putting in, we wouldn't be able to do it without in one piece. We'd have to have a joint in there because the potential to break through two inside corners is extreme. So with it being quartz, we're fine. We can do it in one piece and get it in there snug, and we're away to the races.
I like this look. I like staggering it all over the place. I know it's harder work. At the end of the day, she'll love this, though. I mean, it's just a really nice look. Well, it feels a little bit too calm today. I think this is what they call the calm before the storm. We actually have a huge day today. We have the fireplace hooked up today with Gary. We have glass being installed by Suburban Glass. We have the kitchen people coming in to do the final touches on the fireplace. A lot of stuff happening today. It's what we have to do. If we don't do this, they're never gonna get home. We have to get them back home. They have a baby. They have a brand new baby that she had while she was out of the house. We have to get them back in today. It's gonna be a hell of a day, but we can do this.
All I'm doing is lifting this existing flagstone up so that the first step matches in with all the others. Because you get used to the stairs coming down. When you get down to this one, it's a bigger drop down. Carrying something or even going up it or down it, someone's gonna fall and hurt themselves.
I've never really seen a square railing before. I really, really like it. It just goes with the whole thing in this house. Everything's square.
It does, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Came out nice and strong. I put the hardwood nosing in for you up there.
I saw that. That looks awesome. I like the little return at the corner here. That's
Correct.
really nice.
And just I'll finish sanding it up once I nail in these pickets for you.
Teo. I like what you did with the bed. It's good, buddy. Well, we're almost done. What do we got? Probably a few hours left, eh?
Yep.
Sherry, my dear.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm busy. How are you?
He did a good job on these stairs, didn't he?
I did them.
You did them?
No.
No? No. You're gonna try and take the credit?
Absolutely.
You do the rails too?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett. You picked the lights?
Hey, buddy, how you doing? What's that?
Did you pick the lights?
Yes, sir.
You're freaking kidding me.
You like them?
Yeah.
Nice and soft, right?
You know what I like is that I can see them from this side of the bulkhead.
Right.
And look at now, we've got a clear, look how big it looks here. It actually looks really good.
It looks huge.
You know what? This looks really good, guys. It's not a huge kitchen. It's a smaller kitchen, but I really like it.
It looks really good.
Who did the tiles?
Carl, we brought Carl in for that to help out. I think everyone we have has touched on this house at some point.
A little bit of love and a lot of, how long we been here?
Too long, buddy.
6 months?
How old am I now? I'm looking at my watch.
Yeah, that's what we should say, is how long we've been here. Good job. I'm really impressed, man. I'm really impressed. You know what? I think the guys deserve a week off after this.
They did a great job. I'm actually really proud of Adam for taking this job on when I was so busy on the other ones, and Sherry for picking up the pieces behind him. You know, they did a great job here. I'm really proud of them.
And she's practically been living here.
They both have. I saw the cots out back. I told them to pack it up today, get them out of here, because the homeowners are coming back home.
Good job. Let's get the homeowners. I think they're gonna love it. All right. Good job. So I want to take in the side door first. So we're gonna go in. We're not gonna look left, and I just would like you to walk down the stairs.
Wow. Oh, wow. This looks great.
Wow.
The reason I started you in the basement is, one, I don't want you to see upstairs yet. Two, everything started with the basement, really, for structure. Now, I believe the last time I had you in, I talked about this wall with a deflection ratio. Yes, so we put in a beautiful cinder block wall, completely locked in, engineered, locked into the floor joists all the way up, backfilled with concrete to hold the wall in place. Structurally, you have got big footings here, because this was empty. This was gone. Of course. Not under the stairs. You remember it was under the stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all the spiders.
Things I remember as I go. Let's go into the furnace room. We can now see under the front porch, which was the big ticket item. Come on over and take a look. I want you to see it.
Wow, except I can't see. I'm gonna need a bit of a ladder. Cool.
7.5 feet deep.
Wow.
You had to dig down 7.5 feet.
We had to form and pour a concrete wall all the way around. We restructured everything. I'm talking about, you know, this wall being deflected in, that was so important. You've lost about 12 inches of space. There's nothing I can do about it. We have to do this for structure. I'm not big on doing an internal weeping system. However, I can't dig their driveway. I can't do anything. That's the big driveway. It's, you know, the earth is above this floor.
Right, yeah.
So we do an internal weeping system. And now all these walls are draped with all the right stuff, because it's controlled. If it comes in, it goes down to the sump pump underneath the floor.
Okay.
Have you noticed your new stairs?
Yeah, gorgeous. It's nice and light.
Well, they match to the maple that's on the floors upstairs, so it's maple stairway as well.
And actually, I really like the square. Want to see your bathroom?
Yes.
It's not a bad bathroom.
Oh, wow. This is beautiful.
Not bad for a basement bathroom, right?
Gorgeous.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
And
I love it.
Temperature control in here.
You have new heat in your floor. It keeps you...
Heated floors.
Yes.
In the basement bathroom.
It's very efficient, actually.
This is fantastic.
Well, this
I
is...
love it.
I couldn't imagine it turning out any better than it did. This is incredible.
Well, I'm glad you're happy, and we're only in the basement.
Yeah.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back outside, and I'm gonna take in the front door, because I really want you to see it.
All right.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, my God.
The place looks unbelievable.
Yeah, the last time we were here, the house was gutted to the brick. So we didn't really know what to expect, and we're blown away. It's gorgeous.
This looks so good.
It does, doesn't it?
This is amazing.
It actually, and it looks bigger than when we saw it, you know, torn down. Like,
Up. This is new.
This is home new.
Yes.
Wow.
The structure we had to do in here. All new beams, point loads, now displacing the weight properly.
Never could have envisioned anything this magnitude having to be done to the place. When we first came in and when we first started, you know, seeing a few little issues with the house that maybe weren't picked up in the home inspection, it's just, you know, orders of magnitude more.
Now, I know you were involved in the design of the kitchen, because a lot of things I said is, who picked the tile? I love that tile.
That's this one.
Very
I
good
love
taste,
that
by the way.
tile.
Yes.
You picked the countertops.
yeah.
I love what you
Love it.
did. So you really
Yeah, it
knew
works
what you
well.
were going to get within the kitchen, right? It wasn't. This is not a surprise, but you do see it.
Well, it's a surprise because, I mean, we picked this from a sample this big.
Right.
But we
So-
thought it might work together, and it does. It's absolutely stunning. I mean, when we first bought the house, it was completely different, and we fell in love with the open concept and the kitchen, modern looking. But now we walk into this, and this is completely us. Wow, this is gorgeous. I love it.
2 sinks. I said, who picked the 2 sinks? I guess you both wanted your own sink.
Yes, that was our mutual decision.
What'd you name your daughter?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle?
Yeah.
What happens when Gabrielle gets bigger? She's gonna want her sink.
She'll share.
Basement?
I moved to the basement.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody had to.
So let's start in this bedroom here.
Okay.
This room is a small room. I love the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sherry?
No, I swear to God, I picked all the lights.
You?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jeez, man.
Sorry.
You're gonna be doing a new show.
Stealing credit all over the place.
Second room's the same. We have a closet. It looks really good. The floors are all leveled. It's all been redone. And it's the reason we did what we did. Look at that, square and round. Damon, is that you? Dude. Square, round.
Yeah.
Nice, you broke it up in the middle.
I'm telling you, you like his lights?
Designer Damon. I know.
So we gave you his and hers closet. And I don't remember having a his and hers closet before. I'm almost lost now on how it looked in here.
You know what? It's a stretch, but you guys did have them, didn't you?
We did, but
Yeah.
they didn't match. Like one
Wasn't
was,
it side by side or was it on both sides?
It was on both
both
sides.
sides.
Isn't that
but,
funny? Okay, whose was whose closet?
So the small one was mine.
That was
All right,
the small
I'm gonna
one.
make this real simple. Damon, which one's the small one?
The small one's here, so I know you're gonna want that.
So you go look at that one.
Done. Wow.
The little things, eh?
That's fantastic.
The little
Oh my
things.
God.
Wow.
Look at this.
They hang on the wall. They look good. Very functional.
They look amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Okay, now you can look at your closet.
Yeah. Empty.
We did this on purpose. Again, doors to match. I love the square style doors. Come on now, we got to do something for you.
This is awesome.
Bit too much for you though, right? You can share this space maybe?
I think those 4 drawers
Yeah,
are
I
mine.
think I get one drawer and half a rail.
Here's what I'm gonna guess. You're gonna get both closets. He's gonna get the closet in that one.
It's absolutely amazing the amount of effort that's gone into this. This place has turned out
It's perfect.
beyond anything we could think of.
So I hope it was worth the 7 months. I told you it was gonna be a while.
Yeah.
7 months is a long time, but you know, it certainly feels like this is the place where we want to be.
This could have happened to anyone. It's about the house. The house was wrong. We had to make it right.
We're moving back home to a safe and sound house, and our baby has her own room now. And it feels fantastic to come into this house.
I mean, I'm sure it's many more people than the guys are here, but like, we can't thank you guys enough. Like, it's just it means so much to us.
To Jeff and Josette and their new home, their baby Gabrielle, and to everyone who works so hard, I love everyone, man. Cheers.
Cheers. That is awesome.
That was me.